What is the best way to improve your listening? In this video, I'm going to share with you the technique I use to improve my listening. This technique works, and I wish I had known this technique a lot sooner because it's easy to do and very effective. So let's get started. First, let's talk about why most people fail to improve their listening. Improving your listening skills takes time. It's a long-term process. But most people forget that, or they just don't know. So when they practice listening, they use methods that are inconvenient, something that is not easy to do. So it's impossible for them to continue doing it for a long time. As a result, most people quit before they get any results. But how do I know this? Well, I know this because I have made the same mistake. I have tried several methods that were inconvenient, like watching the same movie twice, with subtitles first and then without subtitles. That was so boring, so I quit after the fourth movie. I also tried listening and then writing down what I heard. But that was too much work and I was too busy. So let's take this back to you. How do you make sure that you don't fail like I did? Well, if you want to succeed, the method you use must be convenient. It must be easy to do. If it's not, you will probably quit before you see an improvement. So let me share with you the most convenient way to improve your listening. It's very simple. There are only two steps that you need to take. Here's the first step. Download a lot of listening materials to your phone or MP3 player. Now, the best listening materials are the ones where people are just talking naturally. They're just having real conversations. When you use this kind of materials, you are listening to a lot of common everyday words that people use in real life. Now don't worry, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a resource you can go to download this kind of materials for free. So that's the first step. The next step is very important. Do not miss this step. The next step is to listen to the materials. But here's the key. Do not do it in your free time. Instead, do it when you are already doing something else. Something that doesn't require much of your attention. Listen to the materials while commuting, while waiting in line, while exercising, and so on. Use those times to practice listening so that you don't have to spend extra time. Now, why do we have to do this? Well, the reason is that we want to make it convenient. When it's easy to do, you are likely to do it for a long time. And if you do it long enough, your listening skills will definitely improve. Now let me show you something that might shock you. Let's compare this technique with watching movies, which is how many people improve their listening. If you start using this technique today, and if you do it for 30 minutes per day, 1 year from now, you will have listened to 10,950 minutes of real English conversations. That's a lot of listening. And because you're not doing it in your free time, the amount of extra time spent is zero. That's awesome. Now, what about watching movies? Well, first of all, in a movie, there isn't a conversation or a dialogue in every part, right? If you watch an action movie, for example, you might see a fight scene, an explosion, a car chase scene, and so on. So let's say that on average, the length of a movie is 100 minutes. 50% of those are conversations. The rest is something else. If you watch 4 movies a week or 208 movies a year, in 1 year, you will have listened to 10,400 minutes of fake English conversations. Now here's the worst part. Because each movie is 100 minutes long, this method requires you to spend as much as 800 minutes of your free time. That is really, really sad. Now let's compare the two methods side by side. Now I have a question for you. If you use this technique instead of watching movies, and you save over 20,000 minutes per year, how would you spend these 20,000 minutes? Reading English books to increase your vocabulary, practicing speaking, or something else? Leave a comment and let me know. So now you know the power of this technique. Let me repeat something important. This is a long-term process. It takes time, so please be patient. Fortunately, now you know this technique, so I know that you will succeed. Okay, now it's time for me to share some listening materials with you. But first, I want to ask you a favor. It took me several days to create this video and find some materials for you. If you find this video useful, take a few seconds and share it with one English learning community. You will not only help them, but help me also. And then, just click here to get some free listening materials.